Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson Media, and I'm joined with my brother Migoda. I can see our good friend Mr. Laban Misiani is already on the comment section, and Gibson Corner. I would want to say also hi to you. How is your evening, and how are you doing, Mr. Migoda? How are you doing? Okay, I think kind of Migoda has left. Laban, how are you doing? I hope you're doing fine. Me too here. I'm doing fine. Today being a Thursday, I see on most of the social media people are posting their TBT. Zile mapicha zao za zamani kabisa kabisa wanapost pale kwa mtandao, wanatuonesha pali safari imekuwa vipi. Sasa sijui mimi naye sina TBT lakini labda niko na story ambayo labda naweza sema katika tukiongelea sana TBT. And I hope Laban is doing fine. Okay, thank you so much. Today we want to discuss, we want to have a conversation, especially the Mbeere North. Mbeere North is one of the races that is going to be a do or die for the particular leaders, especially hey Judith, Abarigani Judith, I hope you're doing fine. So as I was telling you, Mbeere is going to be a do or die for leaders, especially I was focusing on Justin Muturi. I was focusing also on Professor Kithure Kindiki, who is the deputy president and also the chair lady of UDA, and yeah, the three, and maybe Rigathi Gachagua, but Rigathi Gachagua, I don't think is a die for him, because like he decided to give a DP candidate to run. So that is what we are going to look at, and also we are going to see what will the outcome, the result mean. Partly, we also can touch about Malava too, because I also feel that Malava constituency also, Ruto should win it. That is what I think, because that was the party. It was a UDA or Kenya Kwanza a member of parliament in their coalition. So I think he should win it. And if he doesn't win it, also that is going to communicate, because when you look at Seth Panyako, is the candidate for DPK, and is also somebody might go to court, because as we speak today, I saw a post that was saying Seth Panyako has not resigned, as he was employed with Lab Fund, so he's still an employee in Lab Fund. So that is something that also we have to look at. You should be resigning kama unajua unataka kuwe nini. Miguda, how are you? I was just asking you how you're doing, but you went offline.
I'm good. I'm faring on very well. Just to hear from you.
Okay, thank you so much. Before we go, and yesterday, I think it was yesterday, there was a member of county assembly who resigned from his post, citing that he cannot able to deliver the mandate to the people due to frustration that he is getting from the executive, based on what he wrote. But today I saw another comment or another post somewhere. I don't know how true is it, but we are still we are still digging into it. That the said leader got a green card, so he decided to resign. But he did not disclose that was the green card was the main reason for resigning. But that is what is on the public domain. So so this is somebody saying, this is somebody, I'm being told that he got a green card, is going to US for greener pastures. So that's why he decided to resign. And his name is Mwangi, who was elected on a United Democratic Party, had formally submitted his resignation to the Speaker of the National County Assembly in a letter dated 17th of July. In it, he cited unfulfilled promises and lack of development in Githurai as a reason for stepping down, effective from November 1st. This revelation comes amid heightened scrutiny of Sakaja administration, which is battling allegation of delayed salary for county workers and stalled services. So from the look of things, this is what is coming out of online, but we are still yet to confirm that. But somebody is writing that he resigned because he got a green card. He's going for a greener pastures. So which means if he could have not got a green card, then he could have still stayed, or he could have stayed put to keep on earning the money, knowing very well that he cannot deliver. What is your take on that?
If the statements you have read are the factual,
yeah,
I just want to say it means that even the public officers are just staying put, provided they have no option. But in case of any option, even Ruto can go, even Ruto can leave Kenya. So that can tell you the idea that in this country, and let me give you an example. When I went to the immigration department, I found so many Kenyans who have gone to renew their passport, and also some other people went for their passports. When we were trying to communicate to each other at the queue, most of people were saying, most of them are civil servants, and also some of them are working in private sectors. But they were saying, we are just here to get our passport. So we are just ready. So in case of anything, we can fly, but we're just holding this position temporarily. But our heart and mind is not here. So I think even the member of County Assembly had similar view with those of my fellow people whom we were at the immigration office. And I can tell you that if you have a privilege to go to be Nairobi immigration office and try to engage the people who are there, they will tell you that Kenyans, we are just by the way, but all in all, we want to go and seek greener pastures. So in case of green card has come, has presented itself, I think the MC has got no duty to still remain working for the people. So sometimes people can just say, okay, I want to be re-elected, I work for you, public officer, blah, 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 blah. But Brother Benson, you also have to understand, there's a difference between what is in the constitution that member of county assembly elected in the county and the real thing on the ground. Once you are elected in that assembly, that's now you will know what being an MCA is, because you can find out that even that the MCAs has got no allocation. They only rely on their salary. So you find out that it's not that much what you expected when you're doing your campaigns. Maybe you might have spent much campaigning and also promised people much, and you are not having any leeway to provide service to the people. That's why we are saying ground is quite different from what is on the paper.
Okay, now my issue is, especially when it comes to leadership and accountability, one of the reasons why maybe somebody should be running for an office is maybe you've seen a gap somewhere and you feel that you have the capacity to fill those gaps. You don't go for leadership because that it is a priority, but you go for this because like you've seen somewhere in the area that you want to be in that leadership, that there's something that I need to do. Yeah. So it is not being driven by maybe as a side job that is going to earn you money. Maybe you do not have a job, but like you feel like if I run here, I will be earning money. So if all this is said that it is factual, that the main reason why he has resigned is because he has gotten a green card and is going for a greener pasture. So which means that even from the initial stages of him running for that particular ward, his main intention was not to serve the interest of the people. If indeed he has resigned because of he has gotten this green card, but if he has resigned based on what he has cited that he cannot deliver due to frustration, then we will understand him and say that, okay, there's no need for me to stay here or being a leader, yet I cannot deliver for my people. That is understandable. But it's because you're living because you've gotten a greener pasture, then Migoda, then that one, it tells us that even majority of the leaders that we have, they're not going for those positions because they've seen a gap that they want to fulfill, but they're going for those positions maybe to benefit themselves. That's what I would think. I might be wrong in my thinking.
You might be wrong, you might be right. But I see a two scenario.
Yeah.
Your argument, and number two, what if the people are the ones who have fronted you to run? You at personal level, you got no intent to run, but you have said you have seen capacity in you. You can represent as well. Go for this seat. That one can also work out, whereby people have fronted you.
But Miguda, let me ask you: at what point that if you're in this area and people just feel that okay, you're the person who can fill the gap that we're feeling, all the challenges, maybe there's something that you've done earlier, there's that history in your background that has pushed people to suggest that okay, you're the best person to hold this position, due to the fact that we know what you can do, you know. But I don't think like people can just come from nowhere, Miguda, and say that okay, Miguda, you should run. There must be something that they are seeing in you, and there's something that you've done for them, not monetarily, but maybe how you've carried yourself in the village or in that particular area.
That is true, but you find out that sometimes some people, you have an office in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Some people have come from the village and pay a courtesy visit to you in your office. Then the way they have find you in your office, the way you have arranged your office, and the way you communicate to them and give them hospitality. Yeah. And also maybe you can try to argue, maybe you have a certain bridge in your home area. You discuss about the bridge or discuss about the dam. Then all of a sudden, they will tell you, come and go for this seat at home. You know, sometimes people just approach you based on what you are discussing currently. Maybe they can just approach you. Maybe they find out that you are even sponsoring tournaments. But they say, okay, because you have a good rapport with the locals, you can go for certain seat. So I say, if you have intention whereby you have seen a gap in the society and you want to be a leader to ensure that you correct whatever you have seen, all the people have identified you and they want you to engage them on those gaps also they are seeing. When you have that opportunity to serve, and the opportunity comes like green card, it's about service over opportunity, because you are a servant of the people. It means like the green card, you are going to serve yourself. So to me, I can just say, sometimes you can identify those gaps, you go inside, then you realize that for ground, they are impossible. Or people can front you, you go inside, realize that for ground, these people, maybe some of them wanted to use you, like you have seen some people usually front you to buy them, they start making money by you running. So you can find out that, like the case of MCA, even if you are a member of county assembly, what I know, you, other than the grant for the car, for the vehicle, the only fund you can receive is your salary. Even in terms of allocation of the budget, even if you have seen a gap in your country, and you are not sitting in either of the committee, the committee can decide not to allocate money into your gaps, into your county assembly. Then you find out that, like most of them, like most cases, you find that MCS are crying that, how I wish I could have run for. So you can find that the person in question might find a situation where it looked like that scenario. So he decided to go for that opportunity and left the people to either decide whoever can come next, or any other person who can, because it's a public office. You are not crucified. You can leave your name. That's why there was that provision of resignation. If you see it does not be fit for you, you can as well do what you want, what you think is good for you. You are not there permanent.
Okay, you know, where sometimes I usually have this departing moment, especially from especially the leaders. People, and you've also mentioned it here, that if there's nothing that has been allocated. You know, when you go to areas where system works, you know, they don't need to allocate. What you need to fight for, you need to fight that this money is going to be allocated. And when the money is located, you as a member of parliament or the member of a county assembly, you do not have to involve yourself in the finance or the money that has been allocated, but they should be allocated. Okay, we are allocating such a money to go towards building a school, which means you are not going to be involved. You just fight for that money to be allocated, but holding or having a say in the money that is being allocated. That's where sometimes, especially, you find that we have all the wrangles, whereby you, the other day, you had a member of county assembly from Nairobi was talking about the money that is being paid, especially talks about the house and everything. When you're coming for service delivery, you know, you're coming for the people. By the time you are giving yourself an opportunity to see that you've seen that gap, you don't even equate what you're doing to what you're going to be given, because like your main aim is to make sure that the people that you serve are living a standard life, or the people that you serve are getting something that they were not getting it before. So that is the main reason. It's not about the money that you're being given, because by the time you're applying for that, it's just you applying for job. You know, this job is going to cost this. So when you go there, you're going to get so much responsibility in that job that you've assigned yourself, or that job you've been given or you've been assigned to. So you not start complaining and say that, okay, I negotiated for 10 shillings. Now the jobs that I'm doing does not equate to 10 shillings. So I need to be given more. So that I think that one doesn't make sense.
I got you. And when you talk about funds being allocated,
Mm-hmm.
and they are not being handled by the representative person,
Yeah.
whereby the one you elected
Mm-hmm.
does not handle that money. So yeah, there have been allocated. So either you elect him or not, you'll get your funds, you'll get your project.
Yeah.
But you understand, in our system,
Yeah.
even if you are sitting pretty in the county assembly or the national assembly,
Yeah.
and you hand over all the functions to the chairperson of the CDF, the people will always demand that mbunge amefanya nini. The people will still demand that MC amefanya nini. And you find out people will not elect you. Will not elect you because they will say you never did anything. But remember, there is no allocation for the member of county assembly. And you find that some people do not, because your role is to represent, oversight, and legislate in the county assembly.
Yeah.
But the fact that you never did any project in your ward, some people just come out and vote you out. But the people always want what we call handout.
Yeah.
And that's why the MPs don't want this CDF to go. Because this handout, the CDF, they're using it for a handout when they go to the village or to the constituencies. They give the people, so they maintain the rapport between them and the people. And then the culture of the country is that they want you to be a person who can give handout. At the same time, they want you to come like nimejenga daraja, nimejenga dispensary. So if you go to county assembly and you are a member of county assembly, remember the only thing you have is your salary, and you cannot share your salary with the entire ward, the entire people of the ward. So they will just bring issues like you are not development oriented person. There's no work you have done when you Muturi. But in the real sense, you have just worked within the limbs of the law. But now they won't understand. That's why I was telling you. Even if you raise the issue of allocation should be done without involvement of the representatives, but still, even if it's done in that way or the other way, the people who are receiving these allocations, they have been put in a system whereby they want it to be handled by a certain person.
So okay, Miguda, now I get you. And now this one brings me to CDF. Today, I was just going through social media. I will not mention where that county was, or that constituency was. Like the High Court has stopped the president from assigning to that bill that makes the CDF become constitutional, right? To become a law, right? Did you?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So what I saw, and now I'm starting to think, I saw there are some students who were paraded with the money that they've been given from CDF, and the photos were taken and they were on the social media, and they outlined the money that they've gotten together with the schools or the higher learning institutions where they are at, and made me thinking that why should you do that? Because have you is that the intention of CDF? Because after making sure that you've given it to a Kenyan, then what follows is that through your media team, who control your social media, all these photos are taken. Our mothers, our sisters are carrying out those checks to show the world that I've received the CDF. And this is something coming from the government, because now the signal I'm getting, it's now the intention is not you giving, but first of all, intention is to have a good mileage, especially on the people who will be competing with you on the campaigns, because you will say that I gave you, yet this is public money. Do you think what I saw on the social media should be the case by parading all the people that you've given the CDF, carrying those checks on and putting them on the social media? Is it true? Is it good? Maybe on you. To me, I don't think that is ethical. That is not something that I would do if I'm a leader. If I've given you the CDF, I would not encourage my media team to parade all the people that you've given and take a picture and post on the social media.
It is unethical.
Yeah.
On how our leaders carry out their function of the CDF.
Yeah.
And you'll find there are some constituencies whereby you will not see them on X space even advertising what they have done in their constituencies, or even explain to the people what they have done in the CDF. What you have done, you have done. You don't need to explain. If you have not done, you have not done. And you find they are being ranked as top constituency performing.
Yeah.
But you find also there are some leaders who want to use it as a PR exercise, whereby they want to relate their image with the public that in certain constituency, the people were given CDF. So it's like more of transparency, that the leader was transparent, even had photos and people saw. Some people are even giving by themselves, that I went on the ground, I gave them out by myself. So that is transparency. But transparency doesn't need photos. What if we are in the era where there were no social media or there were no cameras? Still people are working on, even without being shot. Things were still working on. So I think there's somewhat to PR exercise, or they want to create that image that they're like. And also right now you understand there are some people campaigning.
Yeah.
They want to create a notion whereby they tell their opponents that you saw me giving out bursaries. You saw me constructing a dam. What have they done? They want to be MPs. But I fail to understand, like MPs. Me today, if I'm vying for the MP, me, I won't even stress myself for those projects, because you must convince your constituents that my role as MP, I'm going to Nairobi to represent you. I'm going to Nairobi to oversight and to legislate. So you tell people how you're going to oversight as the entire parliament, how you're going to represent them as the sub-county, how you are going to legislate for the national, because you legislate national assembly. So you persuade them that you are the better person to debate in parliament, you are a better person to bring bills in parliament, you are a better person to understand the law, you know what is wrong and what is right, you are a better person to critique the government in existence on their behalf too. So by doing so, you don't need to go to campaign with bursaries. You are giving people bursaries, you are giving people barabara, you are giving people leso. Those things are unnecessary to me, because the structure is very clear. what used to happen in before we have this CDF thing.
Yeah.
The moment we have those MPs who have died, people like Dalmas on their first time in MP. The people you just it was about conversation. By the time I think you are able to see those people.
Yeah.
Politics was about conversation. Ilikuwa tu umeongea na watu aje. Do you know how to speak to people? Those time people never used to come bursaries, barabara. No, it was about conversation. Maji, it's about what is the conversation? What do you have for the people? What do you know? What are your intent? What is new that you have? So out of that conversation, you persuade voters to vote for you. Then you go to parliament. But this current one, whereby for you to be MP in Kenya, you must be someone who can bribe voters. But initially, people used to come from nowhere. That's why we ended up with people from humble background, to say so, who later became members of parliament because of the character and also on how they were able to persuade the people on their conversation to transform the country. That's why we are having leaders who are just, I can say, naturally leaders. Unlike what today, we have what Raila calling kifaranga ya computer. So you understand what I'm saying. In that essence, I believe that even if the people were taking shots on what they are doing, to me, it has been overtaken by times in the coming polls, because you understand they will tell you that it's spread. That's how it's spread. That when you take shots and you put them on social media, people will know that you are working. But even in terms of working, because Brother Benson, remember those times whereby I think around 2002, 2007, where there were no social media, or even 2007, 2010, 2013. But you understand there were some constituencies whereby when the CDF came, like I want to tell you, the Budalangi constituency, we were able to see by then MP Babu Namwamba was able to construct bridge, was able to construct gabions in the constituency, and he ensured that, by that time there used to be a lot of floods in Budalangi, and people were being killed by floods. And until that time, when the mainstream media, so when the mainstream media went to the ground, like the Citizen TV, they investigated and find out that truly this member of parliament has done perfect with the CDF, and he never posted until today. It is on the record that he did that work. And also in parliament, if you go to the answered, the records are very clear. If you are there, if you debated, if you spoke, if you sponsored a bill, if you participated, if you opposed, if you propose. So to me, I think these things are just there. They are well recorded, even if you don't need to bring them to social media for public perception.
Okay, thank you so much. You mentioned Ababu Namwamba. Ababu Namwamba, even though maybe because of political differences, but Ababu Namwamba is a performer. Is one person that I think he's a leader. If to call a leader, Ababu Namwamba is one of those people that if they decide to do something, they will do it wholeheartedly and actually see the result. And I remember the other day he was talking about how he really fought for Kenya to host Chan. He said that he was very happy that his efforts actually bear the fruits by Kenya being one of the East Africa countries to host Chan. So congrats to Ababu Namwamba. Maybe one time, if God would give us time, we might and get his contact. We can have a one-on-one conversation with him and know more about him. So be good. Let's at least touch it very quickly.
But just to cut you before you proceed. The same person you talked about Ababu Namwamba, during the time when he was the CS for sport, that's when he advocated for the Kenyan to host Chan. And also remember, we are going to host AFCON. So he pushed for two. He pushed for Chan and AFCON. And also, the Talanta Ella Stadium is his brainchild. That is what he initiated. And also Talanta Ella program, whereby he argued that talent is money. That's why we have Talanta Hela. Talent is money. And Adeline, Tibet. Those are the people whom we brought, and right now I think he's in Spain. So this, he made within a span of 2 years, he made a significant change into our sporting activities. That one, let us give him credit where it's due.
Okay, thank you so much, and credit to Ababu Namwamba. And I know wherever you are, keep on working for the good or for the betterment of our country. I agree. This is what Laban Misiani say, Brother Ben, NGEF, or what is he saying? My eyes are not. NGCF is unconstitutional, and if so, there must be a referendum. Thank you. And maybe Laban, if you can weigh your thoughts, especially on what we were just discussing about, whereby you find some members of parliament or are after issuing bursary funds to some of our less fortunate members of the society, then they parade them and take selfie. You know, what is your take on that? Is it, to you, do you feel that is something that is okay to you? I just want to know your view, and anybody else who is watching us out there, to just weigh in your thoughts, especially after member of parliament or any leader issuing a bursary together with those checks, then you parade everybody, all these our mothers who are less fortunate, coming from the background that is low income earners, and like you parade them. What is your view on that? You know. Okay, Mr. Miguda, also something that maybe we can weigh our thoughts on is about the ghost workers. You know, Kenya is na inchi ya ghost, mpaka tuko na ghost voters. Homa Bay, of what happened to the other day when Governor Wanga was in a Senate, and he was being grilled on some financial issues on how he has used the money, but it came out like he had almost like over 1,000 ghost workers. You know, and based on the pictures that we usually see on Homa Bay as the rising city in the sun, you know, the upcoming city in the sun, and we still have like almost ghost workers. Yeah, okay, this is what Laban says. At Brother Ben, this bursary issue must be left for county or country government. County government, okay, thank you so much. Okay, Miguda, go ahead.
I haven't heard your question. I think I lost you.
I'm asking about the ghost workers, especially in Homa Bay County. And you know, Homa Bay County has been one of those counties in the administration of President William Ruto as the most talked about, and we've seen so many events and the development that is taking place in Homa Bay County, yet we still find ourselves having like ghost workers of around 1,300 that were just taking money from the county, yet they're not there. You know, where was this money going to?
That is corruption, because you find out national government has been working in Homa Bay, and people have been asking this question. If you are saying that the national government has been working in Homa Bay, the stadium, call it, from national government, then there's allocation for the Homa Bay county government. Where is this money going to? If all the projects are coming from national government, therefore the money which is allocated from Homa Bay County inaenda wapi? Because you can show us that this is for William Ruto, this for William Ruto, this for William Ruto. But what about for Wanga? What about us? Because all counties, they are being allocated funds. And if there is a county whereby national government has spent much time to make it look like a better town, is Homa Bay. But the question is, the money which is allocated for Homa Bay County for development, where is that money going to? That's the question Homa Bay resident want to be answered. After asking that question, you find out that the Homa Bay County, there is a lot of, many people are languishing in abject poverty. Many people are unemployed.
Yeah.
But you find that 1,000 plus are ghost workers. This money which are being paid to these ghost workers, they ought to have gone to the people who are languishing in abject poverty. They ought to have been directed to an employment use in that county so that they can be employed and paid with that money. That's why the question we are asking. Why is it that the money which is allocated from Mbeere County is not being seen? At the same time, there's a side corruption. The people in that county need services. The people in that county need jobs. So the money which has been allocated for the ghost workers should be used to employ youths, should be used to assist the vulnerability in the community so that we can have an equality into the county, not whereby when a governor comes, they complain that Awiti, the former governor, has got ghost workers. What has happened today? It means that after I've chased your ghost workers because they were chased, I'm bringing my ghost workers. So that is corruption, and those are the corruption we are saying. It is corruption purely. And the question the people are asking right now, bro, Benson, if you go to the ground, they will ask you, we agree that the national government has done tremendous work in Mbeere, but the allocation which has been allocated for the county government, where is that money to?
Okay, that is something that people are asking, and you know, like there's one lady that I've been following, especially she wants to vie for Migori County. This lady, she's called Sheila Olang. Sheila Olang, she's an economist from the way she talks, and I love her point of argument. Especially, there are pillars that he points out, especially if you want the country to move on, or you want the country to have like a vibrant economy. And if somebody get a chance, just go and maybe follow Sheila Olang in some of her interviews, especially in NTV, everywhere that she has always been hosted. In terms of the way she argues, in terms of economics, on how we can grow our economy. And he gave an example, especially the Singapore that most of our leaders keep on talking about, like we want to be like Singapore. And he said that what did Singapore decided to do for them to be where they are? And that question came, especially like even I do even ask the president, or I do ask all the leaders that are saying that they want to be Singapore. But like if you look at the history of Singapore and how they became to where they are, there are some measures that they put in place to be there. But I don't think that those measures are among the ones that economic empowerment that is being done. You know, doing that economic empowerment is okay. But does it transform the country as a whole? Because like, you know, when you want to transform the country, you cannot transform or decide to go with only one sector that is where you want to do the empowerment. Then it will translate to the economy of the country so that the country can have vibrant economy. That one is not going to work because there's some other things that you have to put in place for you to have that economy. Let's say, for example, one, we have to look at how can our economy thrive. For example, let's just invest in things to do with education. That is one of the things that she talked about, things like service delivery. Let's look at something to do with health. How do we make our health sector, especially very vibrant? And this one means we have good medication, we have good hospital, then the people of that country, health-wise, they will be okay. Talking about education, and if today, you know very well that from yesterday, the lecturers went on strike, and this one still touches on education. It does not only touch on the model, on how the people are being given, the model that people are complaining about. It talks about the whole sector of education. It combines the lecturer, it combines the students, it combines the infrastructure. That is, so when you invest in that, then you are going to actualize. So for us to actualize the Singapore economy or the Singapore way of life, so there are so many things that we have to do. We have to forget about this empowerment that is kind of like sectional empowerment, where you only empower a section, yet you don't look at the country as a whole. That's what I think.
I borrow Taylor's school of thought, and also I want to agree with your comments. And Sheila, I also like her arguments. Even if you go to local TV, Ramogi TV, sometimes when she's hosted, she got a very good argument, very good one, very genuine. And she's also an advocate of trust deficit between the public and the leadership. That is that trust deficit that she has been arguing. But if you put I don't know why they like using Singapore, but there's countries like even South Korea.
Yeah.
South Korea also came from nowhere to where they are today, and even Taiwan. But if you focus on South Korea, you find out that the Kenyan people right now, we do not have money in our pockets.
Yeah.
There's no money. Hakuna pesa mfukoni. That is how it used to happen in South Korea. And what did the South Korean people do? They open what we call companies, or the corporates, can say. After opening these corporates, and now because they were having small amount of money to their pocket, they were allowed to invest their shares, to deposit their shares. So you deposit what you have, and you become a shareholder. So when you become a shareholder, and with time, these corporates or companies, they used to hire people for employment. Now the people the job was being created, and also remember there was money, because if we are 6 of us, we put our shares, then we go to create employment. Number one, we must create board of directors, whereby there must be chairperson, a vice chairperson, other members, secretary. Then from that point, you are going to create, even like if you have a communication company like Safaricom, you must create all those people, the sweeper, even the watchman. You must create employment to the people. So by doing so, you see you are transforming your economy, whereby people are getting job, people are getting employment at the same time. Even you people, the shares keep on growing, so that when the company make profit, you get dividends. So when you are getting dividends, you are also increasing in terms of investment. So I think until we get it right, that is when we can go Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan. But this one model you are talking about, the one you have cited, empowerment. And empowerment, you are not going to go to Singapore. It is not. It is impossible until we have an economist who can advise people to transform the country.
Yeah, do you know? Do you know why I'm just saying that empowerment, it is good on the face value, but on the real issues now, when you want to tackle the issues that maybe people are facing, it is not, it cannot be actualized, because I'm looking at it this way, Miguda. Let's take for example, there's a border rider, or this is a border organization that they've come. You want to give them empowerment. You buy for them almost like 100 borders, so which means 100 of them shall have been, the job shall have been created, so you've created that sector. You have 100 of people that have been added in the job market. That is job creation. But you don't look at the consumers. Yeah. So when you look at the consumers, and there are some of the things that you've not done, especially when it comes to taxes, if the taxes are quite much high, even the consumers, they will not tend to use the border. Some of them may end up working knowing very well that I cannot afford. So which means if the economy is not growing, and what will happen now, because the demand is going to be low. Yeah, because you have so many borders, so what will happen, they might end up even lowering the price lower, so that they can, at least in a day, they get something to go back at home. So they will not be doing it that we want to make profit out of it, but they will doing it that, okay, let me just do it today so that I can have something to eat. So it's going to be hand to mouth kind of operational each and every day, so it's something that, okay, let me get this lower, even do 20 shillings, so that when I go home, I can feed my family, so but now if you bring in let's say like good taxes, you create an environment whereby business can thrive, and this can only be done through taxes. Maybe you give also subsidies that is there, or pocket friendly taxes. Also make it very, very, very environment where by there in so many investors can come in. Maybe the investors go to place like Migori or any other area, then they build a company. So it means people will be going there, and they'll be transported to those areas. So I think it is something that is debatable, but I don't know. At Miguda, oversight by country government of Homa Bay is done by MCA. If there is any case of corruption, there are procedures to be followed. Don't tarnish Wanga's name. Okay. I don't think he was. I think like he was just relying on the fact that there was a total of almost 1,000 over 1,000 something 103,000 ghost workers that were identified during the when he was at the Senate, you know, and it's something that people have been talking about. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. We've lost Miguda. I'm still waiting for him. Okay. There's also something that I need to talk about, especially looking at the disaster management. You know, the reason why I'm bringing this, you know, most of the time we've been talking about, especially our country, when there's a disaster, we usually say that how prepared we are not. We are not prepared. But there's something that happened in Nigeria, Lagos. This was a 7-story building that caught fire. And the evacuation, especially when people are being evacuated to safety, it tells you how generally Africa, we are still not up there, especially when it comes to disaster management. Because I think like there are people who ended up getting injuries, and there are some people who ended up losing their lives, especially in Nigeria. That's like 2 days ago. And I saw the fire truck. I went there. I don't know whether there was enough water in the fire truck to kuzima hiyo moto. Sasa inakwambia unapata kwamba Nigeria ni nchi ambayo iko na pesa, lakini ukipata like they cannot invest on such especially the service delivery. We still come at service delivery, so we're still very far. Yes, Miguda, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back, and I want to respond to Laban for the two comments. Laban, I just want to say, I'm just clear. My position is opposition. That's where I am, and I'm where the people are. But the issue of ODM, just relax. This is politics. Soon you'll see me in the Orange House, and soon you'll see me the chairperson, Gladys Wanga. You'll see me Gladys Wanga, and you'll see me the Baba. When I'll go there to take certificate. When so this politics. For now, I am in politics, but when the interest dictates that I must be in ODM, don't worry. You will see me in ODM, and you will see me in that Orange House going for the certificate, and you will see them coming to campaign for me. When, in case they sign me, you remember even the current SG of ODM, Sifuna, just came from another party and they direct to ODM. So these things, they just work that way. But when right now, my position is not that I'm in Wamunyoro. My position, because we say that when injustice becomes a law, our position is opposition, and we are becoming civil disobedience. So right now, as a citizen, the position is civil disobedience, and opposition. Not that we are somewhere or we are opposing. That's the role we have as a citizen, that we have to be in opposition and we have to be oversighting and criticizing. But I have no issue with Wanga. And like I'll tell you, very soon, you will see me in that Orange House with Wanga as the chairperson. Well, so don't worry, this is just politics. When interest comes, I will be there.
Okay, thank you so much. When interest. So, Miguda, thank you so much. Let's dive into the election or the mini polls that is going to take place in the country. We have quite a number of them, but the mostly contested, or the most that is so much talked about, is about the Mbeere North. And this mini poll is a do or die, especially when you look at the inside the Mbeere North mini poll for some leaders, especially from Mount Kenya. And just to bring you to speed, we have quite a number of them. We have Newton Karis. Newton Karis will be running in the party of DP, and so that is backed by Newton Karis, is backed by Justin Muturi, Rigathi Gachagua, Jubilee, and Uhuru. I don't know whether that is true. Yeah, we have Leo Murioki Madenge. Madende is a UDA, is backed by President William Ruto and CS Kindiki. Then we have Duncan Mbui, Chama cha Kazi, Moses Kuria, and Gitonga Mukunji. Yeah, Gitonga Mukunji now has joined hand with and Moses Kuria. And I don't know how this one is going to go with Rigathi Gachagua, because like for the better part of the day, he has always associated himself with Rigathi Gachagua. Then we have independent candidates, UD Link, Geoffrey Ruku, outgoing MP. Then we have Cecily Mbarire. So we have independent, Muriuki Njangwa, Dr. Muragwa, independent, and this one, local legacy, sibling rivalry. So many, it is playing that there are big wigs behind this by mini polls, especially that is going to take place in Mbeere. So what we want to look at how this one will affect the political, especially of some few leaders, including, and I would start by the chair person of UDA and the governor of the area, because he has to prove that he is the chair lady of the UDA in that area. And he has to also to say that, okay, I'm very popular in this. So he has to make sure that this person wins, because he has the pressure to do so. Beguda, when you look at the Cecil Mbarire and his position as the party chair, and this is happening in our own area, and she has to prove that she still has that control. How is this one affecting her politically, knowing very well that this is the same county that the president, William Ruto, was booed for the very first time immediately after impeaching Rigathi Gachagua? You know, how is this one going to affect her politically, and what effort should she put in place so that she remains even relevant to make sure that her influence still runs within in that area?
Mbeere North is going to be one of the hotly contested based on the provisions you have just read, like the people allies differing on their candidates. You saw the issue of Rigiji differing with Mukunji, and also they are saying Rigiji and Uhuru are having one candidate. I remember Uhuru and Rigiji are not allies politically. And also you find out people like Cecil Mbarire now having different opinion with the Kindiki. You find out it's a very complicated poll, because the nature of the candidates and the nature of the sponsors or the support base from the people. And also you understand that it has been narrowed to clanism, whereby it depends on the clan. So it has been subdivided into down to clans. And then the future interests, because you understand Cecil Mbarire position right now, and Mukunji is eyeing that position in the future elections. So it's more of a complicated, and also remember the influence of Kindiki, and when Ruto took away that lawmaker to the negative. So you want also to prove a point that he was a UDA. They want to take that seat. And also Gachagua must prove a point that we are the Mount Kenya boys. We have done our part, and we have sent away the Nilot guy from our region. So I can just say, I think next month it's going to be hotly contested. But right now, it's very hard to predict who is going to be re-elected based on those circumstances, because I think each and every person is going to invest in those campaigns. I remember also the candidate who is being supported by Moses Kuria, the Chama cha Kazi Party, and Mukunji, initially was the leading candidate.
Yes.
And it was the candidate for the DCP. You see how it's very much complicated. So even after all these realignments, is he still leading, or we still have a new poll? So until we get a new poll, we can conclude. But what I can just say is that Mbeere North must be watched closely, because it's also going to bring a new precedent in the country, whereby we have had people disagreeing on the candidates but still allies, and also many people nationally by-election. Okay. So I think it's going to be an interesting one.
Okay, thank you so much. And I just want to engage you because like I'm looking at it here in what I would look at the opposition unity versus fragmentation that we are seeing here, because like we are seeing Gachagua, Muturi, and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta backing the same candidate, that is Karis. And this shows a rare moment in the unities. What is your take on that? Because like people have always said that that the relationship, especially between Rigathi Gachagua and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, has never been so good. Remember how Rigathi Gachagua attacked the president when he was leaving the office, and now we are seeing that the unity of this particular kind of mini poll is bringing them together. What does this one tell you, or what can you pick from it?
What I can pick from it, I can just report to you authoritatively that it's about divergent and convergent. That's why you don't need to have pressure, you don't need to have stress, and that's why I was responding to Laban. Like my case, today I can be in opposition, today I can be civil disobedience, but if I talk well with my sponsors and I talk well with my people, and they identify their political party, you can find me in ODM. As because even the way I'm coming from, they might want me to represent the ODM. So I can report to you that first, at any point when you are in politics, be it you are in government or opposition, you must always remember that this is politics. This is not economics, or this is not law school. This is politics, or this is not a court of law. So in politics, the constant thing is divergent and convergent. Is very constant. So when our interests diverge, irrespective of our differences, we must work together. And when our interests converge, in any circumstances, we must work together. But when our interests diverge, even if I owe loyalty to you, I must quit. I must find my way. So that is what is happening here. So you find out whereby we have complicated candidates and complicated sponsors and complicated support base in the SW. So what we can learn as a people, a big lesson that when we are treating politics, let us not make it too serious to an extent that you are going to kill your fellow hustler in quote because of the opponents. Because with them, it is about divergence and convergence. So look at your interests first. Then don't kill people because of politics. Don't have feelings because of politics. And that's why I like our platform, because we understand Laban is a two-term. Some of us are in opposition, but we are still coexisting here. There's no hard feeling that because we are a two-term or one-term now, I can't come to that channel. That channel, those people are opposing the government. But because of that existency and a liberal mind, that's what will make us to come as a people of different race, different tribe, different opinion, different political affiliation. So as a people, it's high time for us to learn that from this by-election alone, that it is no longer, it is never an enmity permanent or friend permanent. It's just about interest. So you can work tirelessly to support your interests, but once it is done, you can as well find other avenues. That's why you don't need to stick. It's a matter of being flexible, because if you look at the history very well, these people at one point in life, they have worked together. All of them, they have worked together. Rigiji have worked with Uhuru and Ruto. Raila has worked with them all in Kanu. So it's just a matter of interest and circumstances that can make you differ. But most importantly, we should differ ideologically as citizens. We should differ ideologically as leaders. If we can differ with you as a leader ideologically, that's good, because I can say, me personally, I believe in economic empowerment. I believe in bottom up. But on that side, no, me, I don't believe in the bottom up. I believe in trickle down. Someone will argue also, okay, me, I believe that we should look at the real issues of economic. If you must go Singapore or South Korea, let us put it on the practical basis. But some can say, okay, we don't need to put it on the practical basis because we are about to campaign. Let us have it to look like let us make it a face value. So that's how the politics should work. So in this by-election alone, we are able to learn that it is just about interest, nothing else.
Okay, thank you so much. If you're watching us for the very first time, this is Brother Benson Media, and you can subscribe to the channel so that when we are having a conversation like this, then the YouTube will notify you, and you can join us and also share with us your thought, especially if you're out there again. And you could also, you could also share with us your thought, especially when you look at the Mbeere, because you look at the Mbeere North election, it has come at a time where the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, and the president, they are showing their political muscles, Rigathi Gachagua is trying his level best to make sure that he consolidates, especially both the Mount Kenya, if to say, both East and West, and become one spokesperson that we will always give direction. So, and the president also is trying his level best to keep the voters that he had that propelled him to the presidency in 2022. So that is why Mbeere North is quite much very significant in this mini poll. Another thing that makes this Mbeere quite significant in mini poll, because there are political personalities here that I think this is going to be a do die for them. As I mentioned earlier, I mentioned the governor for Embu, that is Mbarire. Yeah, this is a do or die. She has to make sure that a UDA candidate wins this seat. Even though it used to be for DP, but the DP, actually, Muturi disagreed with the president. And the person who won the seat was appointed by the president to be a CS. So you see what is happening now. The same time, DP DP now gave candidate, and Rigathi Gachagua say, okay, I'm not going to fill in a DCP candidate. I'm giving Justin Muturi. So it's also something that is also going to be a do and die for Muturi, because remember, Rigathi Gachagua, having that influence, wanted to show the might. Remember when he was in the US, one of the things that made him to cut short his visit or his tour that he was doing in the United States was to come back to campaign. And people knew very well that this is going to be a showdown between the Gachagua and President William Ruto. But now is behind the scenes is now Muturi. And if candidates of Muturi does not win, it's also going to give Rigathi Gachagua a signal that, no, Muturi, we gave you a chance, but your candidate did not win. So, Migoda, let me also engage you on Muturi. How is this one going to be a do and die for Muturi, and he has to make sure that he wins? What if he doesn't win? What is the way forward for him?
Muturi must win. He must find a way to win, because remember, initially the lawmaker who was appointed to the executive was a DP. Muturi, having proven to the people that he had sponsored a candidate to the National Assembly, Muturi has been dismissed from the executive, and also he has formed alliance with the DCP, and the DCP has rendered their support to the DP in honoring of Muturi. So what is it that is going to make him lose? Those are the questions we're asking. So Muturi must prove a point that even him, he got influence in that opposition, because if he cannot deliver that seat to opposition, because they have left that seat for Muturi, then he will have a question to answer when opposition will retreat, that we left for you. You are unable to win. And also Ruto will have a field day if UDA wins, because we'll say hata hawana walikuwa wananisumbua kwa serikali, hata huko kwao wanashindwa, how he will say something, watu hata kwao nyumbani wanashindwa, watu bore kabisa, of ladies is abusing people, wajinga watu hawana akili. So we use that wajinga na watu hawana akili to say watu niliwaambia watu bure kabisa, hata wameungana wote wakapatia DP nikawanyorosha. So Muturi must deliver that seat to opposition. He has got no option. And remember, right now the opposition also having the DCP party who has gone to Chama cha Kazi and Mukunji influence. Do not underrate Mukunji influence. So Mukunji has taken away some votes from the opposition with the DC person, and the Kindiki guy, that UDA guy from the Kindiki also want to prove that I'm the Mount Kenya East King. This thing I must deliver to UDA. So I think the person who you must watch and must ensure that the seat must be delivered is the so-called JB. And that question is a very good one because you are focused on the JB. JB has a duty to prove to the opposition that actually he got influence. At the same time, when he was dismissed in the cabinet, he has the people backing him. Because, the measurement of the popularity is the people. If you are able to bring more people to parliament with your party, it means the people who participate at the polling station are backing you. So if you got the people on the ground backing you, so to me, we can say you are popular. But if you have refused to secure that seat and there are no people supporting you, then you are unpopular.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Miguda, for that. And I agree with you, especially when you look at even how the Muturi exited the government. He exited in a way that it did not end well with him, with President William Ruto. There are so many things that he has said about the president, including about his son who was abducted. Remember how he was narrating how he had the president making a call to the Nurdin Haji about his son. He said that. Now, so it's so much to talk about, and he has, like, I mean, not to talk about, but this is going to be like is say that the payback period, especially that he wants to do on president, because remember how president said that how incompetent Mr. Muturi was. So it is more of a political battle between them, and like people want to see the supremacy, even though the face value of the president might be working under what in the backdoor, but president also has to make sure that this seat is taken from DP and the UDA person has to go through it. And it means that when you look at these polls, I think like this is where like a lot of money is going to be used, especially for campaign in Mbeere North. So one thing that JB Muturi also has to be prepared is about the logistics. If the logistic money, forget about the money that might be transactional, because we know our politics is usually transactional, about giving you small money, then you change the way you vote. But the logistics, the campaign, do we call campaign what? Merchandise. It will be quite much expensive. So I hope Muturi is prepared to do that. Makobura, how are you doing?
Hello, good evening. I'm doing good. I thank God. I'm happy to see you guys.
Okay.
I'm also happy to see a good friend Laban at the comment section. I'm happy to see Judith at the comment section. And everyone is watching us. I'm also happy to see Brenda Obedi at the comment section. And I can see Onyulo Wadmesa is also watching via Facebook. Wallace Amolo and Tony Cruz. I want to take this opportunity to thank them and to remind them that this is Brother Benson Media. Here we say that your opinion counts. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Makobura. We've talked of various issues here. We talked about the MCA who resigned, citing some frustration, especially from executive. But now we were also reading another online literature that has been done that he might have gotten a green card to US. So is is going to get greener pasture, you know. So we talked about that. We talked about the ghost workers in Homa Bay. We talk of quite a number, but now we are concentrating our conversation, especially in a do or die, especially when you look at the inside Mbeere North Minipol, because there's big wigs, big personality that want to prove a point. We have Justin Muturi is there. We have Deputy President Honorable Kithure Kindiki, who also wants to prove a point that he's the king of that area. We have Rigathi Gachagua, who has decided to withdraw his candidature and back the DP candidate. So it is a do for die for all of them, and everybody want to come out as a victors. So we talked about, we were just talking about Muturi before even we go to the governor of Cecil Mbarire. Maybe what can you say, especially for Muturi, especially bearing in mind that the UDJ candidate is here, who is being supported by the president? What should he do to make sure that he win the seat? But what if his person fails to win the seat? Will that one define his political moment?
Okay, thank you. I want to agree with one thing, that the election, the Mbeere North election, by-election, it's like a proxy war for the Mount Kenya supremacy. And again, it isn't just a by-election. I can call it a mini referendum on who really controls the Mount Kenya politics heading towards 2027. And I think it is right to maybe just give the names of those members who are interested in this particular seat. I don't know. I'd shared with you some names. I don't know whether you saw it yesterday.
Yeah, I read it already. I can check it, but still, I read the names of those who are winning and those who are running, and the personalities, especially the leaders, the big leaders who are behind them. But I can still read it so that we can know what we're talking about. We have Newton Karis, Democratic Party, being supported, backed by Justin Muturi, Rigathi Gachagua, and Jubilee, that is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the owner of Jubilee. And remember, Jubilee are having the NEC meeting in a few, so we will also see who is going to have that party. We have Lee Muriuki, UDA. We have Duncan Biu, Josia Thiriku, Muriuki, Jangwangwa, and Murage Jangwangwa. And like I'm seeing here, this seems to be like brothers. How can brothers run as independent candidate? What do they think?
Yeah, so I'll start first. Give my comments on Newton Karis, who is Democratic Party's candidate. Of course, just like you did mention, is being backed by the former AG, the former Speaker Justin Muturi, who is the party leader of DP, and is also being backed by Rigathi Gachagua, who is the party leader of DCP. And remember, DCP is one of the parties that are currently, can say, terrorizing the UDA in the Mount Kenya region. Not forgetting, it is also being supported by the Jubilee Party. One, of course, that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the former president, is still the party leader. And this, I can call it a representative of the opposition or opposition unity. And, it is not going to be easy, because with the combination of Rigathi Gachagua, Uhuru Kenyatta, Justin Muturi, and remember, they're all coming from the Mount Kenya region. And again, not forgetting the fact that there's this view that the president humiliated the people of Mount Kenya by impeaching the deputy Rigathi Gachagua, one that they'd gone through with to the election process. Of course, yes, he did. Came back. He came back and, of course, nominated Professor Kindiki, who's also coming from the Mount Kenya region. But the feeling outside there is that Rigathi was elected together with the president, and he needed to have walked with him the way. So this is a group of people who are anti-government. These are a group of people who are some regarding Gachagua, impeached Deputy President Justin Muturi, was actually sent home or sacked, if I can use that term. And you've always known the stand of Uhuru Kenyatta and his close allies within the Jubilee. They've never wanted to be part or to listen to anything about the president's UDA party. This is a clear sign that it is not going to be business as usual. And there is a massive support that Newton Carey's candidate of DP is going to get. And being that the ground in the Mount Kenya currently do not really sing the songs or the songs of William Samoei Ruto, he has high chances of ensuring that he picks that particular seat. If I come to Leo Muriuki Mutende, who is the UDA candidate, remember there's one word.
Makobura.
Yes.
Maybe if you can also maybe if you can share your view, because remember there was a the DCP candidate who was leading in the polls, and he left the party and went to be with Moses Kuria, if I'm not wrong. Do you think that his popularity has maintained with Moses Kuria, being under Moses Kuria and Mukunji?
I don't think so.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I don't think so. And that is something that we also need to actually speak about. Because remember when, now that you've brought the issue of Moses Kuria, remember Moses Kuria just left the government the other day, and is one of those people that majority, and especially the supporters of Rigathi Gachagua, still believe that he's a mole. And he has been sent, he has been sent to spy and to really get to understand or to confuse the masses, and especially the Mount Kenya region. And the question that is being asked is, why would a candidate who was famous simply decide to leave? And there is a group, I've actually was following some comments, and there are people who are saying that it could be that this particular candidate was then convinced by Moses Kuria to join. His party, so that it can reduce the popularity of Rigathi Gachagua, or it can somehow do what we call confuse the party politics that was going on and the by-election process that was also going on. It was just a way of trying to to confuse the total opposition parties in their quest of getting that particular seat. Yeah, so I think that's what I can comment on that. But coming to Leo Muriuki Mithende, who is the UDA candidate, of course, he's being supported by the president and the deputy president, Professor Kindiki, and together with the CS, who was just CS Ruku. And remember, Ruto is still having and trying his level best in ensuring that he gets grip on the Mount Kenya votes, something that is not really going to be easy. But of course, depending on the tactics that he's going to use, depending on the agenda that is going to bring forth before the people, he might then get the opportunity to proceed with that particular move. But so far, it is not easy. It is not going to be easy for him to gain that particular seat. Duncan Mbui, who is the chama cha Kazi CCK. Of course, this is a party that is headed by Moses Kuria and is also being supported, of course, by Gitonga Mukunji, who is also a member of parliament. Duncan Mbui defected from DCP, and he was very famous before he left the DCP. The question has always been, why did he leave? And of course, that has brought forth the the question that people have always asked, whether Moses Kuria is genuine, whether Moses Kuria really left the government to come and confuse the Mount Kenyans so that they might not vote together or in one bucket. That is the question that is currently out there. But with time, of course, you'll get to understand that. There's also Josiah Thiriku, who is an independent stroke. He actually has UDA links as well, where Geoffrey Ruku, Cecily Mbarire are the ones who are actually currently supporting him, possible insider. Of course, he understands the Meru very well, and getting the support of the governor, getting the support of CS, it's also something that is good for him. But the question is, why is it that there's quite a huge difference of thinking within the UDA or within the government, where the governor has the preferred candidate, where the CS also has his preferred candidate, and it's a question of, a question that brings a lot of, it's something that brings a lot of questions, because the expectation would be that this is the candidate of the government, if it is UDA, and it is supported by, starting from the president to everybody who is elected within the UDA. But this is a case where we are seeing a lot of leaders supporting different individuals, different candidates, and it's actually confusing. Again, not forgetting, this is the only race where we are even seeing two brothers coming to fight for the same seat, and they're all coming with independent, and that also brings the sibling rivalry among. Question here where the people are asking is, what is so interesting that is making even people coming from one family to go for this particular seat, and then there's also a candidate called Jacob, just like Brother Ben did mention, and he's also coming with independent. But of course, it is I understand is having some disability. So this is a very interesting race, very interesting indeed, because we are seeing all kind of we are seeing all kind of people coming in. We are seeing a representative of the disability sibling rivalry among the brothers who are also having different views. Who will win in that particular? Who wins the family vote? Actually, that's the question that people are asking. Is it if, for example, their father and mother, they will wake up to go vote for who? Which sibling? Yeah. So it's going to be a do or die. Just sorry.
I'm saying voting is usually secret.
Sorry?
So I'm saying when it comes to voting is usually secret. So the mother might say that I voted for you, yet he knows very well that I voted for so and so. So, but like they will know by themselves. They keep them to themselves.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying it's not really anything easy. It is one of the most interesting, actually, among all these by-elections that we are expecting in the Republic of Kenya. This is one that is very interesting, and we're simply waiting as the people of Kenya to see what will happen in that particular constituency.
Okay, thank you so much. Based on what we have, or what has been speculated, is that the UDA chair, and I want Miguda to look at it, and it paints for us what's happening with the UDA, because it could have been good if the UDA chairperson, who is the governor, they could have fronted one candidate or given support to the candidate that the president is supporting. But now you're finding like there's those rumors that he also has like a preferred candidate. Miguda, what does this one point to you, especially when you look at UDA as the ruling party and where the president is, whereby your chair lady of the party is not supporting the same candidate that you're having? Is that one we call the democracy, or it has a deeper meaning that we do not understand? Okay, maybe Miguda is not around. Makobura, I think I'll get Miguda later. Is I don't know what's wrong with him. Now, as you mentioned that the DP, I mean the governor, who is the chair lady for the UDA, she's having her own preferred candidate that she feels might or will win that seat. And the same time, she's the chair of the party where the president come from. What does it tell you about the relationship between her and the Jubilee party? I mean, with the UDA party?
I think those are all signs that as much as UDA, there's quite a number of people within the UDA currently. There are consistent disagreement. Remember, Sister Mbarire not once but several times has always come out to criticize some moves within the UDA. She has always come out and said that she's not being respected within the UDA party, and I think that is a clear signal. Remember, that's a clear signal that things might not really work well.
Oh, yeah.
It is a clear signal that there are differences within the UDA party, and we will always see serious disagreement. We will always see serious discontentment within the UDA party because she is a very senior, party official. CS Ruku just left. He was just given a position the other day, and from that, what you would expect is he listens and he follows very well what the president or what the party has pronounced itself on, something that we've not really seen. That is a sign that it is not really going to be easy running the UDA party. The signals are already out, and the signals are very clear that there are differences within the UDA party. It is one that needs to be reflected. To be looked into. If they don't, then just like the procedure has always been, with the thinking outside there within the Mount Kenya region, it is not going to be easy for them to settle or to convince the people that truly UDA still has what we call grounds within the Mount Kenya region. That is a serious threat to the UDA party unless they look into it and come up with solutions that are going to ensure that they remain together in the sense that whatever decisions they're coming up with are decisions that are welcomed by all party officials and party members.
Okay, thank you so much. Miguda, how are you doing, sir? Hello, Miguda.
Hello. I'm doing good. How are you? I'm back.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, now can you paint for us a picture, because as we are saying that this is a do or die, especially for Mbarire, Cecil Mbarire, but from the look of things, it seems that he is throwing her weight behind a candidate that is not supported by the UDA. How does this one sit with her, especially within the counting, knowing very well that the other day, even remember when she came out guns blazing about, actually she was complaining about the deputy president. Remember also the deputy president, when deputy president addressed her one time about the heckling that took place to the heckling to the president, and now he's not supporting the UDA candidate, but tend to have an option. How does this one sit with her politically going forward, and even within the ranks of UDA?
And that's why I told you that it's a very interesting polls, because each and every person has to be analyzed independently, differently. And then when it comes to I think she's the chairperson. When she's now not supporting the candidate of the party, and the party has also made a decision.
Yeah.
Maybe I think the wrangles whereby they
We lost you, Miguda.
Maybe she has suffered some political rights infringement within the party. Now she want to show them that
Okay, I think like we keep on losing Miguda.
Capacity. It is not about who. Even if you go ahead and maybe demean me in my county, but me I can still make a comeback if you're a party. So she want to be clear that it is about the party, it's about the people and about me. So I don't need that party in future, because if so people must be clear in this by-election that it is about the people. Here is about the people. It's not about the party. It's not about the tribe. It's not about the kingpin. It's not about, but
hello, Miguda. Makobur, I think Miguda is keep on breaking. I don't know what's happening. Okay, as we wait for Mr.
It doesn't need that. It doesn't need a party to.
I think Miguda has some problems with this network. You need to fix, then maybe come.
Am I clear now?
Maybe come back.
Maybe try.
No, just leave, and then you log in.
I think I'm clear because I have.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, he muted again.
Maybe he leaves and then come back because he's
okay.
not.
Okay, we will wait and continue with the submission of Miguda immediately. We will continue with this submission immediately he comes. But now, Makubura, you know, also somebody who is also in the web is the Deputy President, Honorable Excellency Kithure Kindiki, because he has to also deliver this seat. You know, he has to make sure that this seat is delivered. And this one also will give an indication for how next year will be working, or the next general election, because at the time where we are speaking right now, you would see that the political players are starting to take shape. The political is gaining momentum. The politics is gaining momentum, despite the fact that the president is calling people not to campaign, yet he's campaigning whenever he go doing those his project. But what will this one give, especially Honorable Kithure Kindiki, if in case the UDA candidate wins? And again, if the UDA candidate loses this election, what will this one mean to Mr. Kindiki?
I think this is a test, a serious test, because what is currently happening is that you've had politicians. Remember, politics is a game of numbers, and not just a game of numbers. It is one that people will always have their own say, especially when they think that they can find a way of making you unpopular or making you not seems to be having power or being of value in the political limelight. The professor Kithure, the deputy president, has always been viewed in that manner. But I think this is also a wake-up call to him to actively engage the people and to actively participate in the politics of the politics of Mbeere North, where he is going to come out and ensure that he speaks to the people the same way Rigathi Gachagua is moving around to speak to the people. He has to also speak to the people, whether he's going to use his mother tongue or whichever language, to ensure that the people then gets to understand what really he has for them, because he is the deputy president. If he fails to deliver this, because remember, this is one of the seats that are in his his areas, home areas. So this is a very typical thing for him, that he has to come out and fight and fight and give it his best to ensure that he captures that particular seat. Because if he manages, then even the view of the people might then change and he might be seen as some serious, valuable politician in that Mount Kenya region. So depending on how he's going to play it to ensure, depending on how he's going to play the politics of that particular region, he has to really focus and take it home. I think that is my view. Miguda, you can finish the comments that you were giving before you left.
Okay, I was saying that she wanted to prove to the people that, or to the that UD in that region, and she doesn't need the party. She can emerge without the party, so they should be very careful whenever handling her. I think it's a matter of power, because you have seen people want to show their power. Kindiki want to show his power. Cecily Mbarire want to show the power. Muturi want to show the power. Gachagua is so hiding behind JB, and Mukunji also want to show the power through Chama cha Kazi. So I think it's a power struggle. You understand? In that constituency, that people want to test waters. Who is the leader of the people? Because if the clan can decide, it's now clanism to side with you. It's a regional power and also national power. You understand? Kindiki is playing national politics, and the UDA nationally, also Gachagua hiding behind Muturi nationally. So I think it's about power struggle in that region. Back to you, Makubura.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for giving us your view. Allow me to, of course, acknowledge the presence of our viewers at the comment section, and to really appreciate the fact that you've taken your time to be with us. It is not, we are not taking it for granted. It is a nice thing that you are supporting us. You are supporting us by, of course, coming to watch and, of course, giving us your views at the comment section. Yeah, so Mr. Miguda, maybe something else that you can give us your take on is we've seen, the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya is very clear on the engagement of how far cabinet secretaries are supposed to engage or to get into the political arenas. And what we've been seeing this year is there has been quite a number of discomfort among the opposition leaders where they're coming out. And I remember Senator Joe Nyotu, if I'm not wrong, he came out and he was not really happy with how cabinets are coming out to get into politics, and they are actually participating, and their comments are politically aligned. My question to you is, if you read the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, it really bars such kind of behaviors. It stops, it clarifies actually. If you read part of the Constitution, it gives to what extent those leaders who are given chance, and especially the cabinet secretaries, to what extent they're supposed to behave in matters of politics. Lakini inaonekana ya kwamba wanapita kile kiasi, unaona, na sasa ni jambo ambalo linasisitiza sana hasa wale viongozi ambao wako upinzani, na si hivyo tu, it is a constitution, so it has to be followed. Of course, ukisoma katiba izungumzia vizuri na inaongea vizuri kuihusu. So the question is, what is your take on this particular matter? And as a Kenyan, as someone who understands the Constitution, what are the measures that are going to be used to ensure that everybody follows and walks within their lane, within their path? Mr. Miguda.
I agree with you that the Constitution bars some things, some rights, and also the Constitution allowed some rights, the same Constitution. But provided you don't interfere with someone's right, you are at liberty until you interfere with my right. First, the freedom of the ones we are picketing.
Miguda,
Article 30.
I don't know what's wrong with your internet because it keeps dropping. It keeps dropping and you're not very clear. Allow me to acknowledge our viewers at the comment section. Laban Misiani, thank you so much. Judith, thank you so much. Brenda, thank you so much. And everyone is watching us. If you're new, kindly like and subscribe to this channel. It is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. Allow me to also acknowledge Tony Cruz, who has been watching us as well. Kindly like and subscribe. It is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa tutashukuru. Yeah, we're just trying to have a conversation, of course, on why it is important for the people of Kenya to understand what the Constitution says specifically on matters of leadership. There has been complaints from other leaders, and most of them the opposition leaders, where they're saying that the cabinet secretaries are not supposed to engage in politics. They're not supposed to give comments which are aligned in a political manner. And of course, it is true, they are not allowed because the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya is very clear. And those are some of the things that the IEBC actually needs to focus on, because they need to come out and at some point maybe criticize. And well, we have a constitution, we have the courts. They also need to pronounce certain they have to come out and give directions on to what extent are people supposed to engage in politics. We are seeing consistent politics in the Republic of Kenya, and of course the same constitution is very clear. Kisoma kifungu cha 77 section 2 inasema maafisa wa serikali walioteuliwa hawafai kuwa na nyadhifa yeyote za vyama, lakini we are seeing that is not really the truth of the matter. Tena ukisoma kifungu cha 73(2)(a) hawafai kuegemea upande wowote wa kisiasa, kwa sababu hiyo that brings about the division. And those are some of the issues that we are trying to give our opinions on tonight. Miguda, are you back? Miguda?
Yeah, I'm back. Maybe kindly frame your question.
I had asked about why we are seeing an political engagement within those people who have been given the position of cabinet secretaries, contrary to what the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya says. And quite a number of Kenyans are coming out to call them out. Those in the positions are also calling them out. The Constitution is clear that they are not supposed to engage in politics, because if they do so, they are not also supposed to take political sides. This is something that we've been seeing that is consistent, and I'm asking you, what is your take on this?
I agree with you, and that's why I was telling you. The moment we have rights, like Article 37, the rights to picket, demonstrate, assembly. But the moment you hit a police officer, that's where your right ends. The moment you barricade the road, that's now where your rights end and you are being arrested. So you have talked about the CS while engaging in politics, and it's very clear that they should remain state officers. The moment they engage in politics, that's where their rights ends. Now we take action as the people. They are not supposed to engage in politics, and also they're supposed to take sides because they are serving the nation nationally, not the political parties. And that's why people who are donated as experts, when they went to executive, they see as being officials of that party. That one is very clear because now we presume you are serving the country. But the culture, you find out that some people also are having hangovers of being maybe MPs or politicians, or they want to be future governors. So they are starting to warm up early. That's a culture, and I think the way we have said very clearly that the Constitution refrained them from acting into their capacity into those political spheres. I agree with you, and just like I've said, there are right sense where they ignore, like if they do contrary to the provision, we hear their right there. So I think there should be a framework and also an act to deal with them, whereby if any CS has been found to engage in political activities, this is how it should be carried. The law should be carried out through maybe an act of parliament or any provision to ensure that maybe it can be pardoned or she, or maybe resign, or to go and do politics now because that's what you want to do. So you can resign and go and do that politics or dismiss.
Maguda, kuna mambo ambayo watu wanazungumzia hapa. Unakubaliana na semi za Waziri Kipchumba Murkomen kuwataka Wakenya wanunue mafuta ya polisi wakitaka usaidizi? And is this not ufisadi? Hii sio ufisadi? What is your view? Is it really where we should be headed to as a country? And how does that then expose what we call the corruption, the elephant in the room?
I still agree with you that it is ufisadi because, Makobura, in a society, we are complex. In a society, we are not equal. If I want assistance from the state, first remember, it is the duty of the state to cater for my security. And even in our constitution, is very clear about safety, security of the person. State obligation is to ensure that you are safe. And when I need an assistant, for instance, armed robbers have invaded my home and I have a phone call, I can call police officers phone call away to come to assist me. In that circumstances, because it's still an emergency, maybe I was not having funds in my M-Pesa, I cannot do transaction. Or maybe I was not having cash within me because it's an emergency, but I need assistance because it is their duty. It's just to alert them. Will they not come for my rescue? They must come. That's why we say it should be voluntarily, utumishi kwa wote, without being paid, because they are being facilitated by the government. Because if the government fails to provide my security, then I have a duty to sue that government. So for them to be not sued, let them carry their duty. Remember, other than what I've told you, there are people who can't afford that fuel in the society. There are people who can't afford fuel. but they have properties. And maybe I'm attacked when I've gone to watch football at night. Then I reach out to police officers to come for my rescue. How will I fuel? Maybe I was having only 30 shillings, which I've paid for football in the hall. So some I can just say it's corruption, because they just want to make it very clear that you have to fuel the vehicle, and when you fuel the vehicle, the allocation was done by the budget committee. And the 2025-2026, the police officers, they allocated budget, including for petrol. So hii pesa petrol inaenda wapi ya budget? You want mwananchi still to budget for the police officers' operations? That's the operation. It's like the operation, then you are funding them. To me, the duty of the officers is to serve the people equally without asking any fund from the people. But if that's the case, the direction from the CS, I just want to believe that they want to take some money from the people. But you understand, you must understand these things, that it can be good on the paper, on the constitution, the way I've explained to you. But on ground, things are quite different. The real ground, even people can promise you projects, but in the real sense, some are unrealistic. If you get into the inside the government, you find out that you can't achieve what you are telling the people. Now, what do? You work with the ground. Like on the ground, maybe the money which was allocated for fuel has disappeared. Now, what do? You ask Raya to pay for the fuel. I think that's what's happening. So I think it's just corruption.
Okay. Thank you so much, Miguda, for giving us your view. I really appreciate. Allow me to, as well, say a big thank you to our viewers, and for standing with us consistently. Allow me to read some few comments here. Laban is saying that kila wakati tunainunua. Personally nimenunua juu I was looking for justice. Me, I have a different view. I think the people of Kenya pay tax, and if we continue with this, if we welcome or if we support this manner of people are supposed to be buying fuel for the police officers, I think this is Kenya. Not once. This is a conversation that you start, you bring it forth, and anytime that you'll go to the police station, you'll be required to pay that amount. What about those Kenyans who really do not have? So does it mean that only those who have the money to buy the fuel are the ones who are going to find justice? Are they the only ones who are going to get assistance from the police? I think this is something that we really need to not encourage, because the motto for the police is utumishi kwa wote. When you start speaking about kununua fuel, I've lived in the village and I understand what really, if that conversation is not really stopped, if that conversation is not really addressed in the right manner, of course people have been buying fuel, for them, but if it is put on the public, it is not going to be anything good for the people, because the excuse out there will be, if you don't buy fuel, we are not going to assist you, and people will die and people will have issues. Criminality will get in, and the police will have, or will say that we'll only get out if you give us fuel. I think we need to be truthful. Let us speak about, let us tackle these matters with a lot of soberness. It doesn't make sense if we start telling that police should be, we Kenyans have to buy police fuel. these are things which does not happen in other countries. Why would we want to bring such kind of things? And the people of Kenya are paying taxes. Kwani ni nini basi Kenyans can get? Matters of security, matters of justice, those are things that hatufai kuleta siasa, hatufai kuleta, conversations like kulipa, kutolipa, justice, assistance, Anyway, this is Kenya. Miguda, I'll give you a chance to give us your final remarks. Miguda, you can give us your final remarks.
I just want also to appreciate our viewers and also to wish you all the best. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to also wish everyone a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you again tomorrow.